an explosion that nearly killed a celebrity chef, a sliced finger during a high-stakes competition, and an injury that required surgery. Cooking can be a dangerous business, and these chefs survived difficult injuries while on the job. Before he became a chopped judge in the Food Network series De Facto Pasta Aficionado, Scott Conant was known for slinging spaghetti at his Manhattan restaurants, L'Impero, Alto, and Scarpetta. Racking up 3-star reviews meant the chef quickly became a food media darling. And one year, one of Conant's restaurants hosted a holiday party for food and wine. While preparing for the event, Conant was manning a huge pot of hot frying oil when a kitchen mishap struck. The chef told Business Insider, "Accidentally, I backed into it, and the handle hooked onto my apron. As I turned around, the whole pot spilled down my leg. I quickly pulled my pants off right there on the line to stop the burning." He was left with scars. And as if the intense physical pain wasn't enough, the whole ordeal was embarrassing, and as Conant put it, awkward. Embarrassing memories, after all, tend to be as punishing and permanent as oil burns. Kitchen injuries are inherently dicey, but what about when they happen under the hot lights of live television? Giada De Laurentiis made a name for herself on the Food Network beginning in 2003, hosting cooking shows like Everyday Italian and Giada at Home.
So I want to show you my Italy, so let's go. Andiamo.
She also became a fixture of the network's live specials, including a 2013 Thanksgiving special featuring Bobby Flay, Ina Garten, and Alton Brown. While preparing a turkey porchetta dish, the TV personality sliced open her finger, and she leaned over to Garten and told her what happened. De Laurentiis told Today, "I think everybody kind of freaked out. We don't do live television usually on Food Network. These things usually just get hidden." De Laurentiis managed to sneak off during a commercial break to get medical attention, ultimately receiving a few stitches. De Laurentiis' colleague managed to squeeze in some gentle ribbing, with Brown joking on Twitter that they found her finger in the stuffing. In the kitchen, fingers and hands are the most injury-prone appendages when it comes to knife cuts. In the case of Bon Appetit and Epicurious food director Chris Morocco, feet can be just as vulnerable. The cook shared an anecdote with Bon Appetit in which he was cooking dinner at his apartment in Brooklyn, telling the publication, "I was cooking barefoot and managed to knock the food processor blade off of the counter. It fell perfectly right on the top of my foot and opened up a wide gash because of the serration and gravity. It just penetrated." Morocco wasn't sure whether the wound required an ER visit, so he texted a picture to his surgeon brother-in-law, who insisted on dressing the wound himself. Morocco hopped in a cab to his brother-in-law's apartment, where he promptly received a tetanus shot, stitches, and painkillers. These days, Matty Matheson is perhaps best known for playing Neil Fack on The Bear, but fans of his wildly popular YouTube channel are well aware of the chef's culinary prowess and brash on-screen persona.
Spaghetti carbonara!
It shouldn't be surprising then that the rough and tumble Matheson has more than a few kitchen mishaps under his belt, several of which occurred while he was the executive chef at Toronto's Parts and Labor. 2 weeks before the restaurant opened in 2010, Matheson was prepping a staff meal of egg salad sandwiches. As he was draining the pot of boiled eggs, hot water cascaded down his leg into his boot. Matheson ripped off his boot and wool sock, accidentally tearing off some skin as well. The chef soaked his foot in ice water and went back to work. When he sought medical attention after service, the doctor informed him that he had third-degree burns. During an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Matheson shared what he said to the doctor.
I just had to keep going here for a bit, because I was just like, people need salads.
The
and
eggs
stuff.
had the...
Sometimes a kitchen mishap can occur outside of the constraints of an actual kitchen, too. In Matheson's case, an outdoor wedding sufficed. The chef was tasked with manning the grill, but after too much wedding fun and sun, he cranked the gas and didn't light the fire. One lit cigarette was enough to create a fireball, knocking the chef off his feet and singeing his eyebrows. Compared to a restaurant kitchen, the on-set kitchens of Rachael Ray and 30-minute meals were efficient, even placid settings. Still, the longtime TV personality insists that burns and scrapes are inevitable, no matter the environment. In one instance, Ray managed to cut herself when she wasn't actually handling food. Ray, known for her bubbly on-air persona, managed to clip her finger with her knife while she was animatedly gesticulating. For Ray, kitchen mishaps are integral to her rise to fame. At the beginning of her television career, the cook shot a pilot on Emeril Lagasse's set. She was so nervous, she didn't notice how hot the pan had gotten when she added oil to it, resulting in a plume of flames in the studio.
It's just one of the laws of averages when you work around flames and sharp objects your whole life.
Nowadays, Curtis Stone knows his way around a kitchen thanks to his multiple Michelin-starred restaurants and stints on shows like Crime Scene Kitchen and Top Chef Masters. But when the Aussie chef was an up-and-comer in London, he learned the hard way that some appliances require some more know-how than others. In an exclusive interview with Mashed, Stone recalled the time he accidentally set fire to a restaurant called Bluebird in London. During his first week on the job as Bluebird's new executive chef, Stone wanted to revive the kitchen's stately wood-fire oven that had not been touched in a few years. In an effort to show off the oven's capabilities, Stone hosted his sister and a group of her friends for a lavish meal. Stone cranked the heat, but as the night went on, he noticed plumes of smoke beginning to build in the back room. And thanks to a window looking into the kitchen, the restaurant patrons did as well. When it was clear that the kitchen's fire extinguisher wouldn't get the job done, Stone rang the fire department. The guests were fine, but Stone was mostly embarrassed that he had almost destroyed a priceless building. Stone recalled, "This AAA-rated heritage building was literally on fire, and thank God we put it out, but that was a pretty big disaster." No disrespect to the knife, but a chef's most formidable adversary might be the humble mandolin. This underrated tool, used to produce uniform, impossibly thin slices of foodstuffs, is public enemy number one for chef's fingers. Alex Guarnaschelli learned the hard way that mixing mandolins with reality TV can be especially dangerous. Guarnaschelli is no stranger to the high-pressure environment of competitive cooking shows, having been a regular fixture on Chopped and Iron Chef America. On her most recent series, Alex vs. America, the chef tangoed with a mandolin, slicing off the tip of her finger while cutting sunchokes.
Ow! And whoop, I nicked my finger. I cut myself.
Like a true competitor, Guarnaschelli was more concerned about the ongoing battle than her finger. She recalled to People magazine, "So the producer is saying to me, what do we do here? How do we handle this? Because this show is called Alex vs. America, and you're at the sink trying to stop yourself from bleeding." So I said, "Let the clock go. Let her run." And I just waited and waited. I was cursing, and I was mad, and I was embarrassed. Guarnaschelli took 5 minutes to get her finger bandaged before getting back in the game. Though she admits her fingertip isn't quite round anymore. She continued, "That little mandolin plays you like a mandolin." Born in the Philippines and raised in the South Bronx, Harold Villarosa has worked everywhere from McDonald's to Bon Appetit to Michelin-starred kitchens. His main safety tip? He told Bon Appetit, "You gotta be aware of the other people in your kitchen. Say behind, say corner, say hot." Villarosa learned that lesson the hard way when an employee left a sheet tray on top of a double-stacked oven. Unbeknownst to Villarosa, the tray was full of hot bacon fat. When the chef angrily removed the tray, the hot oil poured down his arm. Within 30 seconds, his skin began bubbling up. Eager to get back to work, Villarosa skirted conventional medical wisdom. He said he popped the bubbles with his knife and ripped off the excess skin, adding, "And then I put the ointment on that, wrapped it up in saran wrap, and then I went and worked service." Villarosa immediately fired the chef who left the tray in such a compromising position. Still, his insistence on getting back to work is a familiar line among stressed chefs. With fryer fires and third-degree burns to worry about, it is easy for some chefs to shrug off seemingly small knife cuts. Chef Leah Cohen did exactly that and paid the price. Cohen is known for her appearances on Season 5 of Top Chef, Chopped, and Beat Bobby Flay. One day while working at her acclaimed restaurant Pig and Cow in Manhattan, the chef was cutting up sirloin and accidentally nicked her thumb. She rushed to the ER and got 5 stitches. A week later, when the stitches were ready to come out, Cohen still couldn't bend her thumb. Another week passed and Cohen still had trouble moving her thumb. She told Business Insider, "A specialist confirmed I had cut the tendon in my thumb and had to have surgery. I wore a cast for 5 weeks and then had to do physical therapy for 2 months, all from that one cut." Known for his love of fermentation and kitchen hijinks, Brad Leone made a name for himself as Bon Appetit's goofball test kitchen manager turned YouTube star. The YouTube series It's Alive saw Leone show off his kitchen chops making sourdough bread and sauerkraut. Leone admitted that more of his cooking injuries happened during outdoor excursions than they did in the kitchen, citing one camping episode in particular. While cooking breakfast over a campfire, Leone went to work slicing potatoes with the dreaded mandolin. He told Bon Appetit, "I was just on autopilot, going and going and going. All of a sudden, there was a 1/4-inch coin of Brad's fingertip in the potato. Blood everywhere." In cooking and show business alike, the show must go on, and the It's Alive crew jumped into action to ensure their shoot could continue, suiting up Leone in a makeshift bandage of newspaper and electrical tape. 2 hours later, through considerable throbbing and pain on Leone's end, they wrapped up the episode. Ralph Pagano has found success as a television personality, appearing on shows like Hell's Kitchen, Pressure Cook, and Iron Chef America. He's also known for the large culinary footprint he has left on the state of Florida. The chef owns a number of restaurants around the Sunshine State, including his Naked Taco chain. Pagano was set on expanding his empire when disaster struck. While Pagano was test running the gas burners at a new restaurant in Bimini, Bahamas, they exploded with the chef standing squarely in the blast. Pagano suffered second and third degree burns on nearly 40% of his body. He was hospitalized for 50 days and underwent a number of skin grafts and surgeries.
But I'm alive.
For Pagano, the 2017 accident gave him a new lease on life. He told the Miami New Times, "My life has turned positive with what people consider a negative thing. For lack of a better word, that was a wake-up call for me. My wife and the kids are my life. Everything else takes a backseat."